Today I'm going to talk about the strategy of identity. Now, the strategy of identity was something that took me a long time to recognize because our sense of identity is so tied into who we are and the way that we see the world. It's very hard to understand how ubiquitous and important it is. But what I figured out is that if there's some habit that is really a challenge, that for some reason we're struggling and struggling to change a habit, it might very well be that somehow that habit is in conflict with some part of our identity. And if we're going to change the habit, we really have to grapple with a change in our identity. So for instance, let's say a really important part of your identity is that you're a workaholic. And yet you want to start working less. You want to leave the office earlier. Well, you're going to have to figure out how is your identity going to change, or how are you going to rethink your identity if you want to change that habit. Because if you still are thinking of yourself as a workaholic, it's going to be very hard to change that habit. Same thing if you think of yourself as the life of the party and yet you want to drink less. How is it that you're going to embrace your identity and also change your habit? You've got to think that through. And I was reminded of this because I recently had a conversation with a friend, and and she was saying how she wanted to eat more healthfully. And we started talking about the fact that I'm one of these people I eat very low carb. So I'm really very strict about it. So a lot of times I'm in situations where other people are eating desserts or sweets or pretzels or whatever, and I'm not eating them because I really don't eat food that are high in carbohydrates. And my friend was saying, well, the thing is for me, like, I'm the girl who eats anything. I'm not the fussy one. I'm the one who says, yeah, like, yeah, I'll have more. And I said, well, the thing is, I'm fine being the fussy one. Like, that's part of my identity, and I'm fine with that. And it's fine for you to have the identity that you have, but now it's in conflict with something else that you want. And so you have to figure out, well, what's more important to you, or do you want to rethink your identity so that you can change a habit, or maybe you don't want to. It's whatever is more important to you. Somebody said to me, like, oh, well, it was really important for me to be a Southerner and to eat the way a Southerner eats, but I had to kind of let go of that identity because I realized it was having these bad effects on my health. And so whenever there's some habit that is really, really challenging to us, it's very helpful to think of, well, is this somehow tied to some aspect of our identity that's important to us? And that's why the habit is refusing to evolve. Because then by thinking about our identity and what we want our identity to be going forward, then it might be a lot easier to have the habits that support it.